Yo boys, back with another video. We're back with another one, and I know a lot of people have been wanting sub. I didn't end up posting yesterday. Obviously, I had to wake up early, so I ended up just not uploading because I usually upload these videos by like 9 or 10. So we'll see what happens. Pretty much, the talent was bugged, and Shadow Strike in stealth was also bugged to where you couldn't leap out of stealth. It used to basically shadow step you when you Shadow Strike in stealth, and it didn't do that. So they fixed that, and then they also fixed a talent that gave us like, I don't know if it's nerfed in PvP. I'm pretty sure it might be, but it's supposedly 30% on your pretty much every other eviscerate. So as you can see, the damage doesn't look good, but then once my guy hits them lightning lassos and I get my secondary eviscerate, it actually hits pretty hard. I end up shadowing doing him. He darkness has evasion up, but since they're still 50%, at this point all he would have had to do is instantly trinket evasion on my stun and he would have been fine. But a lot of people just, for some reason, they just people have a habit of holding CDs on every one of a rogue CDs, and then they complain that rogue's broken, and those are the type of people that complain about the class. Now, I will say, if you play this with the mage, it can definitely, be broken. You definitely have to play solid, and it doesn't mean the rogue can't just do whatever he wants either. All players in general have to play good. This guy bear forms, and he comes out of bear form. He cancels his own bear form without trinketing. So he comes out of bear form on my secondary eviscerate, because like I said, every secondary eviscerate. I don't know if it's every eviscerate. I'll have to read the talent, but I'm 90% sure it's only the finality ones, or it could be just in general. It could just be 30% on eviscerates. I didn't really read the entire talent. Not gonna lie about that one. Obviously, I had this build below, but the damage is nice. I ain't gonna lie, it is real nice. You definitely, obviously, this is not a good comp. Restless Shaman Sub Rogue, probably the worst comp that you could play, because we basically have no CC, and he's playing a really bad healer in Arena. Well, twos wise specifically, mainly because, Wrestler Druid and Disc Priest are just so much better. Mistweaver as well, those three are just dominant in the Arena. Mainly Wrestler Druid, though, and Mistweaver, but pretty much, you know, the build's pretty easy to do. It's pretty much the same as Gormaw, except now you don't have Cold Blood Secret Tech. You're running more of like a. You're basically treating Cold Blood like Secret Tech, and same thing with your symbols. So you're going to be symboling right before you Secret Tech. That way you're getting that extra, hit off. And that's pretty much, that's all you're doing. So here, this guy hasn't clicked the CD yet. He's actually holding pretty well so far. Um, that's actually surprising that he was able to sit every CD. So here at Kidney, I'm going to bomb, and then I'm going to vanish, and I'm going to sap off the blind. That way, if he does get spaced out, he can't just get in combat, because he's usually going to be focusing his teammate. And I Kidney off the sap. So here we get a really good setup. I think here we finally get PS. So this is our first CD in the game. At this point, we're going to swap to the Shaman, get Rupture on him, and just basically pump. This guy gets his Sky Fury down. You'll see how much damage I take from this guy in like a global. So 1, 2, 3. So about 90% to 50%, no cast involved. Obviously, it is an Ellie Shaman, so they don't need a cast anymore. They just kind of, throw out insta cast the entire game. It's got a good thing about, Ellie. But he ends up lassoing. I could kick it, but I'm kind of just focusing on getting as much CDs as possible. My job is basically to just. It's really rough, actually. Um, when you're not playing with a priest, not having that extra like burst ammo overall, then you're not having really good setups because like you don't have stun, fear, and maybe a sap. You just have literally just your stun and maybe like a hex if you can get it off. But all well, it is what it is. I end up using my racial just to get a free shadow dance, get my combo points. I end up thistleting. Just he ends up fading my cheap shot. I just refade after or re-cheap after that. As you can see, it's not crazy. If they use CDs on your CDs, it's obviously you're gonna see a difference. But a lot of these times, a lot of these one shots just rely on people just not clicking CDs, or they click it at like 5% and think they're gonna live. But here we end up trying to sap. He ends up using his AoE ability. We end up trying to CC off that. We DR cheap shot into a gouge so he can't death my gouge. He ends up getting a precog, all well. At this point, we're kind of just spending combo points so we can get back our Shadow Dance. Because at the end of the day, I mean, for some reason, you just never get back Shadow Dance. I'm spending, 30s. I have spent like 30 points and I've only gained back like 5 seconds of Shadow Dance. So here we get a little bit of a damage here. We almost end up killing him, but he survives at 5%. Unlucky. So he ends up living. He was almost dead, but all well. But if you guys want a guide on this, let me know in the comments. I can get a guide out maybe tomorrow. It's pretty much the Gorma build, except there's a little bit of things off that you can do. And I end up almost dying here. I cloak. And he's pretty much just Sky Fury goes. Like, his overall damage is, as you can see, he's doing a lot of damage. He's definitely not weak. We probably should have lost this, to be honest. They were definitely, thankfully my hero is actually pretty solid, so, um, not terrible. Not terrible at all. So at this point, we have basically one more time. He actually gets a really good knock off my gouge. So, really good. I end up killing the healer. At this point, he can try to hex. We'll see what happens. Now, this is our one last time. I try to step back. Unfortunately, I don't have it. I use my Night Fae ability. At this point, we have to kill my Shadowy Dome, and we end up taking him out just in the matter of time. It was a close game, but we end up taking him out. If he had the one talent that makes you go underground, they would have won this game. But thankfully, he just decided not to run it. So this is versus a rank 1. I faced him a lot in solo shuffle. These guys are not bad at all. It does suck that Wrestler is really broken. It really is. And this SP, it was actually like, it felt like I was facing a Affliction Warlock. Look at his damn, my priest is already dead. So here, we almost end up killing this guy over and over again, but somehow he's able to just be perfectly fine. I don't know how he was able to sit my entire rotation, but the fact that he can just sit in bear form and full top himself off is just stupid. So here, I'm still chasing him. I'm still trying to get, he should die. I should 100% get Sank here. Or not Sank, Trank. Or like Swap or Grip or literally any of the 9 cooldowns. But we actually end up just blinding, and then oh nice. So we racial sap him off the blind. So really good. Even with all the CC, it's irrelevant because this guy, it's perfectly fine. And then we swap back to the Druid. I kick this guy. I don't know how we're both just dead randomly, but I guess SP got that buff, and now they doing like their consist damage is pretty solid. And the good thing is, early on you will see that I'm doing top damage, but obviously you're a sub rogue. You're not like an assassin. You're not gonna be able to keep up. You'll be able to, at least now you're able to like keep up in some way. You're not gonna be doing more damage, but you're obviously able to keep up. We end up almost dying here. This guy's doing actually just unhealable to him, even though my guy's just humping the pillar. I end up almost dying. I cloak here, and pretty much, he's actually running Dark Arc. I've never seen a priest run Dark Arc for themselves. Usually they run it for like a solo shuffle, or not even. Most people don't even run it. But yeah, most druids will just sit in bear form the entire game versus a rogue. All they have to do is just sit in bear form off your DRs, and they will never lose. So this is an example of that. If you face a good druid, just don't expect to win. We actually get him out of form here, and I still think he finally trinkets. At this point, my guy's running out of CDs. He walls here. I end up cheaping here, so we try to get a good swap going. Maybe we get, I think I get disperse here. We'll see. Yep, so we get disperse. So we actually got a bunch of cooldowns. I end up smoke bombing, kind of questionable. I thought I was gonna sap off of it. Like there was a low chance I could maybe get a smoke bomb gouge or something. At this point, we're kind of already low. And if we do have blind, we do have a setup, but at this point, I'm out of CDs. I literally don't have a Shadow Dance for 25 seconds, and I have no CDs. My guy has swap left. Honestly, he could have just swapped here, but I think the game was pretty much over. I mean, my guy gets kicked because he got kicked, and then it was GG. So as you can see the damage, the alt priest is obviously going to do double my dam. Same thing with every other class after 2 seconds. The same people died the same way. So I sap him. He has time to pre right now. Doesn't click a single button. He trinkets and then he does an evasion. Look how fast this guy dies. He trinkets. Oh my beautiful. That's what we like to see. So my guy domes after he's got dead. So if you're going to trinket, make sure you're instantly popping your evasion. Or if I sap you and then I swap the sap, you're going to have that 1 to 2 second delay of you can click, like if I was facing Calvish on his DH, he would have pre-evasioned or pre-jump back or pre-incapped me. There's a bunch of things you can do, obviously. This is more of like a high-tech, player type thing. Again, we finally face a Wrestler Druid that doesn't want to click anything in the opener. This is what we live for, to kill Wrestler Druids. The only way. So I end up not trinketing. I'm gonna hold it because I have my combo points. At this point, I get him out of form, and we end up killing in the opener. He doesn't click a single button. He almost ends up living through everything, but we take him out. So hopefully you guys did enjoy this video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace, peace.